In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to create an icon that reacts to music in DaVinci Resolve, exactly like you're seeing right now. My name is JC Nilofsky. I'm a DaVinci Resolve audio guy, and in order to create this cool effect using something like a logo, the DaVinci Resolve logo like you just saw, we're going to need to download something called the Reactor. And this is going to allow us to have a plugin that we can use, and I'm going to show you exactly how we can have an image react to music. So check out the link in the description below. This is a completely free. It's going to jump you over to the Reactor website. It's going to look like this. You can scroll down, and right here, you've got the Reactor installer. So if you hover your icon right over the Reactor installer right there, you can go ahead and click on that, and it's going to go ahead and download the file for you. Once you've got that downloaded, go ahead and close out your internet. You don't need that. Jump inside of DaVinci Resolve, and we're going to get this installed in Resolve here. So I'm going to jump over into the Fusion tab because that's where we're going to need to create this cool audio visualizer. And in order to install the Reactor, go find that file that you downloaded. For me, it's in my downloads folder. And all you have to do is click, hold, and drag and drop it down here in the area where the nodes go in Fusion. Once you do that, it's going to ask you to install it, and you could do a custom path if you want. I just let it go, to the default path there. You're going to say install and launch. Now, once you do that, you're going to want to restart DaVinci Resolve just to make sure that everything is appearing and coming up like it should, and you'll be able to follow along with the next steps. Once you've gone ahead and run the installer there, the Reactor should now be on your machine, and you may need to restart DaVinci Resolve if you don't see it in this next step here. But what you want to do is come on up to Workspace while you're still in the Fusion page here. Come down to Scripts and Reactor, and we want to open the Reactor right here. So once the Reactor's open, this is what it looks like. And you want to scroll down until you find an option that's called Suck Less Audio. A little strange, but that's what they called it, right? You could search for it in the search bar up here, but right there, Suck Less Audio. And you want to go ahead and check that on. Once you check it, you're going to get this message right here, and you can send them some money if you want, or you can say, not right now, but I'll consider it. So I'm just going to say, not right now, I'll consider it. So now that's installed on my computer. Now at this point, you may need to restart Resolve again just to make sure it's loaded up. It may work, it may not, but if you're not seeing it in the next steps here, you're going to need to just restart Resolve and you should be good to go. So now that that's installed, we can go ahead and close out this window. It says right here, you may need to restart Fusion. So I'm just going to go ahead and actually give it a restart just in case. So next I'm going to jump back into the Edit tab here. And in the Edit tab here, I need to create a Fusion composition. So go ahead and open up your effects library here, go to Effects, and drag a Fusion composition down into the timeline. Now I'm going to select my Fusion clip and jump over into Fusion. Now while I'm in Fusion here, the first thing I need to do is bring in the icon, the logo, the image, whatever it is you want to animate, go ahead and bring that into Fusion. So if I open up my media pool, I got my DaVinci Resolve logo, drag and drop that down into my node area, I can close my media pool. Next I want to select my median one here, and I want to add in a transform node, which is this guy right here. I can just go ahead, click that. It's going to add it in and hook it up for me. And then I'm going to hook up the transform node to the media out. So now we're ready to start animating this thing. So one of the important things to know is that the music clip that you want to use to have this react to needs to be a WAV file. So if you don't have a WAV file, or maybe yours is an MP3, you can always export it out of Resolve as a WAV file, or convert it using a free online converter to change it to a WAV file. But if it's not a WAV file, it's not going to work for you. So keep that in mind. So the next step that we need to do here is select our transform node. You want to open up your inspector, come down to size right here, and we're going to right click on size. Then come down to modify width. And this is where it's different than if you've seen my older videos. You want to come down to modifiers and right here, suck less audio wave. Go ahead and click on that. So now that we've enabled our audio reactor here, we can go ahead and come to the modifiers section up here. And this is where we're going to be able to modify how our logo, or whatever you're trying to have react to music, how you can adjust the way that it works and looks. So the first thing you need to do is come up here, and for the WAV file, you need to tell Resolve, hey, use this WAV file as the way to have this thing react to, okay? So go ahead and hit browse and go find the file that you want to use. Now, one thing you might notice when you go ahead and select your file, if it's not a 16-bit depth file, audio file, then it's not going to work, and you'll see it right down here. So you may need to convert that file, and just be careful when you're converting it, making sure that it's only a 16-bit file. So in this case, this one isn't going to work for me, so I'm going to pick a different file. So I picked another one there. It put the file in there. It's now looking to that file to have our image react to that particular file. And if I play through, let's see what we've got so far. So now we don't hear the music, and I'm going to show you how to fix that in a minute, but now we can see it's reacting to the music track. It is going a little crazy, going a little fast, but we can use all of the different settings in here to adjust that however we might want to. So maybe you want to adjust your amplitude or your amplitude scale so it's not going as much. Now you'll just have to adjust these to whatever way that you like it to look or you want it to look. And one of the cool things here is, let's say you only wanted it to react to your bass. Well, down here it's got filters, right? So in certain frequency ranges, this can react to just that. So for example, if I want just the bass, I could click the 20 to 300 hertz, and then it's going to react only to the bass, which is kind of cool, right? You want your mid-range or your highs, you can select whatever you want, or you could just go ahead and turn that filter off altogether. So now you notice we kind of got it going there. It's reacting to the music, but we can't hear anything. So how do we fix that? Well, what you need to do is jump back into the Edit tab here, and we need to take that audio file that we used as the sample for this thing to react to, and we need to put it in our timeline. So I'm going to go ahead and find that. I might go in my media pool. I've got it in a power bin here. So I've got it right here, Cool Dudes Short Version 1. I'm going to drop that in my timeline. Just lower down the volume a little bit so don't blow your ears off. I'm going to zoom in here, and now as long as these two files, the Fusion composition and the audio file here, are lined up right at the beginning, then we should be good to go. They should be synced up. And I can make this Fusion clip as long as I want because it's actually looking at this entire audio clip, and it's going to react to the clip as long as it is because it's got the whole file there in Fusion. That's what it's reacting to. So all I should have to do now is just play through it, and it should look like this reacts to the music track, and we should be able to hear it, and everything should work out fine. Let's give it a listen. Okay, so that's all set now. We can leave these how it is. It's going to react. The one thing you need to be careful of is that if you were to come in here and make a cut, so if I made a cut here and made a cut here, and I took this portion out, well, the file that this image is reacting to is not going to get cut. It's listening to the whole music all the way through. So if I were to cut this song and make a cut here, it's not going to sound right. And then all of a sudden the music is not going to be in sync with my logo. So let me just do that real quick. So here's what that looks like. Now, it doesn't look that far off, right? But it isn't in sync, right? We need to keep our music track with no cuts in it in order to have this look like and go exactly with the music. Now, one way you can make sure these things stay together is if you select both of them and right-click and say Link Clips. So now, at least if you move them around, they're always going to stay together and always be synced up. So for example, if I want to throw this on top of a cool background here, because my image is a PNG, I could just drop another image or video of yourself or whatever right behind it and just play through it, and this is what it looks like. So there you go, animating your icons, your images, whatever it might be, linking it up with some music and making sure it's reacting exactly to that music. That's how you can do it right here in DaVinci Resolve. Now, there is another way that you can create your own little audio spectrum, kind of like this. Which I'm going to show you in another video. I'll link to it over here. You can check that out if you're interested. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and with that said, I will see you in the next video. Peace.